Hi beautiful, today we're going to talk about the process of manifestation when it comes to manifesting a house, okay? Because many people want to manifest things, but they are not really sure they want to, they need to, they don't have the clarity. So let us discuss today the first step in the process of manifestation, which is the vision, okay? The vision is the first step in the process of manifestation. And this has many other smaller steps that you need to take in order to be able, okay, to go into that vision and live from inside of it every single day in order to raise up your frequency and attract that thing to you. So it all starts with a dream, okay? The dream may stem out from a thought or something that you see or that other people have, and you say that, okay, that sounds nice, could I have that? Okay, it's not enough just to have the dream, you really need to take the decision that you really want it, and sometimes that can take years. And let me tell you why it takes years: because you need clarity. And in order to get clarity, most of times we need to go into the phase of discovery, okay? And this discovery may take years because you need to discover yourself, okay? But also the things you prefer, okay? Preference. In this process of discovering yourself, basically you need to go around your beliefs, because most people follow the normal recipe of the matrix, which is just, you need to buy a house. You just need. This is like a standard procedure of being alive on this planet, and you need to have a car, you need to have a house, and a nice career, yeah, and so on and so forth. But you don't know if you want to. So go deep into your wants and see, what do you want? What would you want? Because in your ideal vision, you have to go and discover, what do you want? How do you see your life? With what kind of vision or lifestyle are you aligned, you as a soul, okay? Not as an ego, not to prove anything to anyone, not to get the biggest house there is, not to have a castle or whatever. Not from a materialistic point of view that you have to be in a competitive mind and show that you are really powerful, but what does your soul really want? And to go into this discovery of self, you need to go into your beliefs, first of all, to see, do I really need a house? Is this house something I really want and need? What does it look like? Do I need to prove anything to anyone? Or I can let myself just be and go into this discovery of preferences. And to go into this discovery of preferences, you need to have experiences. If you have lived all your life, like me, the same house, I tried at some point to live in an apartment. I couldn't do it. I lasted 1 year and then I returned back home because I prefer houses that are directly on the ground. I cannot live in a block of flats, okay? So I don't feel comfortable, and that feeling inside of me reoccurred over and over again in my travels as well. When we went, for example, in Malaysia, and we only could find accommodation in a huge skyscraper in the 30th floor, in the 50th floor, and I really felt uncomfortable, even if I went through my beliefs and whatever, I resolved my fears, but I still didn't feel like I belong in so high up. I really need the nature connection to be able to put my feet on the ground. That for me is not only safety, but is something I crave for, okay? So you need to have these experiences. Go and see, what type of houses do you prefer? Do you prefer one-story house, 2 stories house? Do you prefer a bungalow? Do you prefer a block of flats? Which type of building do you feel comfortable with? Okay, so go into discovery phase. Go into all sorts of layouts of the house. Okay, do you prefer houses with a really huge hallway? Do you prefer to have the kitchen closed, the open living room? Or do you need a terrace outside? Do you need a huge garden? Do you need a small garden? Do you need whatever? Just go and explore. It's an investment in yourself, in your dream, because you are letting the universe know, I want to discover this, I want to discover my preferences, and this is not, so get out of your head that belief which says that this is a loss of money, because it isn't. It's an investment in yourself, in your dream, in letting the universe know that you are going on this path and you have started this path, and I really want a house, and I am discovering which type of house is aligned with my soul. So don't put any limits there, just go and discover, because you may have those beliefs from old movies that having a huge mansion is the dream, and that may have been placed in your mind and it has grown throughout the years, but it's not your dream. It's just something that was planted from outside inside your head, and you may find out that if you strive all your life to be able to buy such a huge mansion in whatever Beverly Hills or something in LA, or some place that you've heard all the rich people are, that is, you get there, but you find out that was not your dream. And it would be a shame to get to that point in life and discover that all of your years of life you have worked towards a dream that was not initially yours. So this discovery phase is extremely important, okay? It may take a few months, it may take years, as it was for me, because I didn't have this need inside of myself. I didn't have these beliefs in me that said you have to buy a house, is the first thing before you have kids. No, I felt free to get married, have kids, and still live in my parents' home. We juggled a little with the layout of the house, so each has its own bathroom and kitchen, and we don't really need to cross paths. So I didn't have this interior need or outside dream of someone else that the house is really a must in this life and it should be something I really have to work for. It's really the last on my list. It has appeared, this need, this real need, because I can be happy anywhere, anytime, as long as I'm with my family. And this is what I've discovered in the discovery phase, okay? Because if I'm with my family, I can make any house feel like a home, okay? It doesn't matter if we are in the same country, in other countries, because we traveled a lot. Everywhere felt like home. And that is a really amazing feeling to discover, okay? I let myself be in this discovery phase for a really long time. The initial spark that really opened my desire to get on this journey was that one of my neighbors was selling the house. So I love this neighborhood. I love the area of the city. It's the most marvelous area in my town. But the price was overwhelming, okay? And I couldn't see any solution, not even in the far off future. So I kept the dream in my head that I'll be able to buy that house someday. And this led me to this discovery and this growth of what are my real preferences? Do I really want to stay in the same place all of my life? So I gained the freedom, okay, in my mind first, because my husband told me a lot of times, let's just go and travel the world, because he worked at the time remotely, okay, but I was too busy growing myself as a mother, because motherhood is really hard with small kids. I couldn't see myself traveling the world when I felt very vulnerable, okay, and I had to grow a little to become safe in my own body, to my own mind, in my heart, to be able to feel like I am okay, that I can go, that I can protect my kids wherever we are. So it took like 2 years, and then we started to travel, and I let myself discover a lot of type of houses, and I discovered a lot of things. I don't like flats, I don't like first floor houses. I love certain types of layouts, and I love huge gardens. Things that really apply to our way of living as a family. So in this discovery phase, you get to have clarity, okay? To build up your vision, because your vision needs clarity. And the process of manifestation says that you need to live in your vision. So to be able to live inside of your imagination, inside the vision, you have to have these details. What type of house, what type of materials, where is it, how does it look like, how are the windows, how is the furniture inside, how are you spending your days there, how does the sun enter in the house, from which part does it rise, from which part does it set. All of these details make up the vision, which is the most important thing. Everyone in manifestation says that you need to have this clarity of vision, okay? You need to write as in much detail as possible, okay? And to live inside of your wish already accomplished. You must see yourself in your imagination living in that house, okay? So after the discovery phase, you need to take a decision. You need to take the decision, I want it like this exactly, okay? Because a vision, a dream without discovery remains just a dream. A dream without a decision remains just in your thoughts. It doesn't take life, okay? Because when it starts to take life, it starts to occupy a lot of more space inside of your mind, of your thoughts, of your heart. So it begins to take life. That's how you move the power of the universe to work in your favor, and you draw the wish accomplished towards you more and more and more. Of course, you can delay it when you have doubts, when you are not sure what you want anymore. That's another type of conversation we'll have in another video, so make sure to subscribe. This is clarity. Okay, so you have to have the dream first, basically the seed that sprouts in your mind, and then you need to build a vision, and for vision you need the clarity and you need discovery, okay? But then the decision. A lot of people don't know if they want a house because they haven't explored the lifestyle. They don't really know if having a house would be compatible with the desired lifestyle, but they didn't stay and write, what is the lifestyle? How do I want to live in this life? Do I want to be stuck in one place? This is why you have to go into the beliefs of lifestyle. How do I see myself living? Do I need to travel? Do I need to have a home base? Do I need to have multiple locations, multiple houses? Because that's another belief I discovered in myself as well. You buy a house and you just stay with it in it all of your life. Who said that? Because you can move anytime your needs change. When you don't have kids, you stay in, I don't know, one-room apartment. When you have a family, you move into two-bedroom house, and then, or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, and then you downgrade again when the kids start to leave the nest. And you downgrade again and you take a house wherever you want it to be. So we have to have this open mind that we can also adapt the house to our needs throughout the lifetime. Because I've seen this, especially in my country, that you have to choose so carefully because you'll be with that house and live in it your whole life. And why? Why is this belief so ingrained into our depth of our mind that it drives our behavior in life? Okay, so go into your beliefs and study them. And then you have to have so beliefs about the home. What beliefs have your parents installed in you? What have you seen in movies, in TV shows? And what do you have there in your subconscious as programmings? Okay, and also financial. Because this is also a part of beliefs that really drive the dream of having a house, okay? And also maybe career, okay? And you also need to go into raising a family, okay? If you have those beliefs that I must stay in one place uh, when my kids go to school, are there any other possibilities in this life? Maybe school that is traveling around the world? Just an idea, because there are a lot of schools that do this, and basically it's just one school and you travel with different families around the world, and you still travel, you get to enjoy that lifestyle while your kids are still educated and still share most of the same colleagues, okay? So go and search and expand your mind, because the universe, the menu of the universe is not just have a house, be in the same city all of your life, and die there. This is the story we have heard over and over again, and we are under the impression that this is all there is, whereas it's really not. The menu of the universe is really, really wide and open, and there are a lot of millions of people who live these beautiful, amazing lifestyles, okay? But you have to go up on that frequency to be able to see them, so that they will appear to you on your social media, for example. You have to see whatever is here in your mind and erase the negative ones. Go and replace the negative ones which do not align with who you want to be in this life, and replace them with whatever feels nice for you, okay? And you don't have to make like an ultimate decision that you are stuck with. This is another belief that is way under there. When you take a decision, you can change it. You can live like that for 2 months, okay? And then you can change it again. Play with this life, because it is a game and it's beautiful if you let yourself enjoy it in this way, okay? So after you take the decision, things will start moving in the 3D as well, because as I've told you in other videos, we have this mind, okay? And this mind, the mind is a tool from which we can draw, this is the quantum field or the universe or the possibilities or the spiritual world with infinite, infinite, infinite possibilities or timelines, okay? The spirit world, spirit, because it all lives in the untangible world, okay? And imagination and fears are the same thing, okay? One is positive, one is negative, but they all live in here. And when we draw with our minds, okay, we are only able to see the possibilities that we vibe at, okay? If you feel bad, then all of the reality around you, you'll have a filter, the glasses, that will make you see all the bad things that can go wrong, okay? And you see all these possibilities in the mind, in your mind, in your imagination, which are really bad. But if you go and make yourself more and more open and more feel good, with gratitude, with being grateful for all the good things in your life, are training your mind to see them, because it's there, they are there in your 3D as well, then your frequency changes and you start to see more and more of the other possibilities, the beautiful possibilities. And when you let yourself discover and expand your mind, then you kind of see other stuff appearing, like this traveling, world schooling, homeschooling. There are other enormous possibilities. Working from home, being remotely, being an entrepreneur, not being stuck in an office all day long. So there are many, many, many other possibilities that you'll be able to see when you practically expand your mind. If you don't know, for example, what is your preferred career, what should you do for a living in this life, ask yourself, thus the universe, what else is there? And you will see that in the next few days, the answers will appear. Okay? Good. So this is the 4D, this is the 5D, and this is the 3D. Okay? So when we change our minds and we practice being able to see what we would really want to see, something that is compatible with our soul from the quantum field, okay? Because this quantum field is like neutral. It doesn't care if you ask for negative experiences or positive experience. It's neutral. It's an everlasting energy that co-creates with you every thought that you have, every belief that you have. So this is why the world looks like it is. It is the exact image of what people have in their minds. This is why there are so many differences between our lives, because our own life, each individual's life, is the unique reflection of what he is inside. Okay? Life is indeed a mirror, and you can see it throughout your relationships, of your experiences, of the things you have. Beliefs are everything, okay? Just pay attention to this word, because be and live. Who you are on the inside, who you are being, you are living. The code is written right in your face through the words we use every day. Be and live. If you are living. What you are living. What you are is your reality, okay? Because personality, for example, is your personal reality. Personal reality, okay? Personality. It's your personal reality. And you can change your personality to change your reality. This is why you hear over and over again the identity. Identity. Pay attention to this word. It's very important. And all of the good, bright manifestation coaches will teach you how to change your identity, because you have to change your identity. And it sounds like such a big word, because you don't really have to change who you are entirely. And I don't know, just upgrade yourself each time when you want a new dream in your life. That's the thing, okay? So for example, on a job, if you dream of a new job, to change it, you have to learn a few new things. It can't be the same. You have to upgrade some things. Maybe wear different type of clothes. Learn new things. Maybe you need to travel. Maybe you need to have your own car. You need a driving license. All of these things are upgrades, growth, okay? So every time you change your identity, you're not a kid anymore. You're an adult, and an adult who went through university. You are not the same person now as you were when you were a kid, or you were in high school, or when you were in university, or at your first job. You're not the first person who was in the first love relationship. You always have grown, okay? So this is the same when it comes to a house. Who do you need to be and become, okay, in order to have that house? And I told you that without the decision, things don't change, because when you don't make the decision internally, I am sure I want this, things don't start moving, because you are not moving. For the necessary steps to appear in front of you, you need to have the decision. So, and you cannot have a decision without the clarity, and then the next steps will appear. But not all at once, okay? Because this is unknown. You don't see this, you just see the first. And this is where the difference from the creative mind, when you stay on the same frequency as your dream, as your vision, the difference between the creative mind and the competitive mind, okay? The competitive mind gets you out of your vision and makes you start focusing on the problems, on the solutions, on the how do I do this? You don't have to do it yourself. The how is the co-creation, and the co-creation gives you one step at a time. And this is why most people don't get to manifest, because they don't have clarity, they haven't taken the decision, or maybe they have taken the decision but they are not really sure what they want. So when things start to appear in their life, they reject it because it doesn't match the internal image they had of the thing, so they don't recognize it. Okay, so the how is not your job, not all of them. Okay, you cannot see all the possibilities, you cannot resolve all the steps in all the possibilities that you see from the 3D world. You have to let the spiritual world show you one step at a time, and your only job is to live in the vision. In order to live in the vision, you need the clarity and the decision that you are doing this. And then you need to have the motivation. Because without motivation, you cannot really stay in your vision. Why do I need a house? Is your why big enough? Is your why motivating enough for you to stay in the process of this manifestation? Because many people succeed this manifestation in years because they don't have faith. Where? Here. Because they need to see all the steps in front, know everything, and faith is just going with it. Living in the present. If I see a step today, I'm taking it. And I'm not afraid to go in tomorrow without any of the steps being revealed to me. Okay? This is faith. This is the co-creation part. This is the part where most people fail in the process of manifestation, because they need to know all of the steps and they don't wait. They perceive this unknown as danger. And this is where the nervous system comes in, because the nervous system must be trained. And you train the nervous system to have the receiving capacity, okay, by making your vision as familiar as possible. If you have lived long enough in your imagination, in your wish already accomplished, then it will start to feel normal to you, okay? And when it starts to feel normal, that is when you are not afraid of it anymore. That is when you accept the steps being given to you one at a time. And you're not afraid of not knowing, because you already know the final result very, very well. And you have faith. That's it. Hope that this video brings some clarity to you, and if you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and maybe see you in the next video, okay?